Good evening, Facebook.
Good evening.
It is Willa J,
And Johnny Tubbs.
and today we're going to talk about stress and inconsistency. Hmm.
Hmm.
So, back in about a couple months ago, I saw a meme on Instagram, and it says, let me get to it to make sure we got it right because I don't want to misquote the meme. Let's see. Men are turned off by stress. Women are turned off by inconsistency. But if he's consistent, she'll never have a reason to stress him.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Interesting concept.
That's very interesting because I never realized that, that was the reason that, men are stressed out because women are, women deem them stressful and especially when they're inconsistent. So my question to you is, sir,
Hmm.
do I stress you?
No, not at all. Well, well. There
Okay.
are times
Mm-hmm.
with every relationship. There's situations where you're not going to see eye to eye. You're two different people. You're two separate people. Even in as becoming one flesh, you're still two different people. So you're going to have uh, situations where you guys aren't actually going to see eye to eye, which is what we do. We do have disagreements, we have arguments, but like the scripture says, don't let the sun go down on your wrath. So we're very good about apologizing to each other, humbling ourselves, and making sure that we don't go to sleep with it. One thing I have learned about past relationships is that when you go to sleep with it, it wakes up amplified. Where whatever it is that you go to sleep thinking about is what you're going to wake up with thinking about. So if you go to sleep angry, it's going to wake up amplified because the whole night that anger is marinated, even though you're unconscious.
Okay, I see that. And it's a lot of people, a lot of different relationships all over the world, and they have different what they will and will not accept, what they will and will not take, what they will and will not deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't. I'm not totally in agreement with that, but what I will say is that we all have some part of our significant other
Mm-hmm.
that gives us like, come on, dude, I don't want to deal
Right.
with that, but I will say, as a woman, me personally, I don't know how many out there women can raise your hands and let me know how many of you are turned off by inconsistency,
Mm-hmm.
and men also for you,
Mm-hmm.
how many of you are turned off by stress?
Mm-hmm.
Now they say the number one reason marriages break up is finances.
That's what they say.
Okay, that's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are these people who just so happen to marriage was broken by finances, or was it different scenarios, consistency and stress? Because we all know that most women are multitaskers.
Mm-hmm.
I am one. I will multitask to the day is long. I can write a text, have a conversation, read an email, have a conversation with somebody else at the same time because the fact that that's what I'm prone to. I'm always multitasking. But
Mm-hmm.
it's all in the way you give it to that person.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't be stressing each other anyway.
Right.
We are you supposed to be in this relationship for a reason or a purpose. So think about it like this. Why are you in this relationship?
Mm.
And I also saw another meme. It's so funny because I'm glad we're talking about this.
Yeah.
Do you remember a couple months back when I said I told you, I think it was on the radio, the
Mm.
young lady said her relationship has to be fake. Her relationship is not as good as they think it is because they don't argue.
Mm.
So I'm like, wait. Let me get this straight. You and your man don't argue, so you think he don't love you?
Mm.
That don't make any sense to me.
Mm.
So I don't understand what the issue is. I'm getting people to say they can't see us. That's not good. Let me see. Let me see. Can you see me now, Makita? Oh,
I think somebody posted a question too. Trick
trick
question,
question.
bro. Yeah. Oh.
So we're working off
All right, Lizzie.
two different two different names and stuff. So we're gonna see what's going on with that. But can you hear us, Makita? She's not
If you
responding.
can hear us, can you respond? Earth to Nikia.
She gonna fight you.
She'll be all right.
Okay, so um
You know, I was what you were just talking about. You were
mhm.
just talking about like I think what winds up happening is that a lot of times.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal. Classmate 95. Woo. Um, I think a lot of times I've seen this from a lot of people where people will decide to post blame on one party versus the other. Like, okay, well, like that meme you just read, men are turned off by stress and women are turned off by inconsistency. But if he's consistent, she'll never have a reason to stress him. I have been around women who were stressful, period. Just wanted stress. Some people like that. That's not always true. There is some truth to it, but not always.
Okay.
You know, whereas you might feel like it's because if he would be consistent, then I wouldn't have no reason to stress him. However.
Oh, okay, I see it. Okay, Makita, I see it. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Okay, BJ, I need you to do this, please. Come here, sir.
You pay attention and look, you might know what she's
I'm just saying.
About.
Excuse us while we go ahead and handle this technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Come on, BJ. All right, Makita, we're gonna fix that now.
Is it on both pages like that?
No, because let me see. Crystal says she can see us, so it's just mine. Okay, BJ. Okay. Here you go. You're gonna have to hold this and just start. Let me know when you start, so I turn this off. Okay, but yeah, okay, so back to what I was saying. So the young lady said that she don't feel her man loves her enough if they don't argue. And I'm like, okay, wait. The man comes home from work. He works a full-time job. He's paying all the bills. Your main reason that y'all have issues because he don't want to argue with you. So the man can't have peace in his home because you want to argue. Mm-hmm. Great. Great. BJ, you need to hurry up. Mine is scrambled. They can't see me. Okay, come on, hurry up. So, but
I said pause, then come back. You can pause it on yours and then come back.
No, he's gonna go. You ready? Make sure you only give it time. Okay. All right, so let's hope this works. Well,
they can see you on mine.
Yes. Then. So okay. So yeah. So okay. My thing is this: you want this man to come home every day from work and just argue for no reason, just to show you he loves you. I don't get that.
Well, I think if I can just think about like, I guess I was watching Batman, the Batman movie with Christian Bale and the Joker in it. When he was talking to Alfred told him, he was trying to reason with the Joker, and Alfred told him like, no, dude, some people just want to see the world burn. Some people aren't happy unless there's chaos. I've actually dated a person who didn't think I loved them because I wasn't putting their hands on them, because that's what they had saw growing up. And that's what the type of man that they had a baby by, because that's what they're used to. Like Chris Brown and Rihanna. Chris Brown grew up in a house where his stepdad put his hands on his mother, from what I know. And when you have, and just like with like pedophiles, the molesters of today are the molested of yesterday. Okay. So that spirit gets put in them because of they've been taken advantage of course.
Okay, so what you're saying is somebody who's in a relationship or who grew up in that type of environment don't seem it normal unless they're in that type of environment themselves.
Yeah, sometimes in certain cases, because that they've already started as a youth with an unhealthy relationship balance of foundation.
Crystal said, I feel a lot of people in relationships have a problem displacing their anger and frustration in the right place. That is true.
That is true.
That is so true.
That is true.
Some people, they can't deal with all the pain and all the abuse they've endured over the years. They don't know how
What's
to
up,
put it in
sis?
the
Hey,
right
Erica,
place.
how you doing? How you doing?
They don't know how to place it in the correct place.
Right.
So, Makita also said people have been dysfunctional for so long. That's all they know. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
The dysfunction doesn't keep going. It doesn't stop.
Right.
So it's like, unless you feel that person is treating you a certain way, I guess you won't feel comfortable in that relationship because you don't know. Okay, so just like, I'll take it this way. I grew up in a very violent home. I'm not going to go into more detail than that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say that. But I refuse.
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to live in my home and not live in peace.
Well, see, here's the thing though. That's where you're different. Because see, and this is where we should be drawing strength from Christ, because where you've come from does not necessarily doesn't have to dictate where you're going. Only if you allow it. If you allow what happened in the past to destroy you, well, if you use it as an excuse, like, oh, this happened to me, and I'm not saying that this is against anyone, but you have to have that strength. And if you can I draw my strength from the Lord. I didn't have the best of childhoods. I mean, I didn't have the worst of childhoods, but I didn't allow the things that happened because I was I was teased. I was real shy, and I was attacked as a child, like teased a lot as a child by a lot of people that I'm friends with now. We're adults there. I'm friends with them now. But I didn't allow what happened back then to dictate what was going to happen to me in the future. And it's not easy for everybody to get past that.
True.
Yeah.
True. So, I mean, I'm going back to what I was saying about the young lady. So Crystal says it's hard to deal with. No, sorry. Let me go back. She said it's frustrating when the man works, pays all the bills, and she wants him to argue. Women are interesting creatures ourselves. As much as we want consistency, we are not always consistent. That's true. And that's sad because it's like you want consistency, but you're not giving it. But wait, let's take that a different way too, Lizzie. She being consistent with arguing.
Pretty consistent. You got a consistent argument.
That's a consistency in her. She consistently wants to argue, and that's her new normal, like Erica would say.
Right.
And it's sad. It's like that because it's like your home is your sanctuary. Your home is a place where you come to rest.
At least
you
it
get
should
peace,
be.
right? And you get peace out of the outside world. Once you close your door, that's it. It shouldn't be any more than that. It shouldn't go into, coming in, want to fight, want to argue, putting up the dukes, putting on your boxing gear and boxing and fighting and stressing inside your home. It's supposed to be a place of peace.
Right.
Do you have any questions over there, BJ? Nobody on the screen. Anybody ask a question? No? Okay.
So Crystal asked, so are you wrong for walking away even when other means have been used to help that person? Should you continue to subject yourself to I guess you didn't finish, but that's okay. But maybe the hurt is probably what you was getting ready to say. So you subject yourself to the hurt. Well, just like, again, I got scripture for that too. And we was actually talking about this. It's in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7. It clearly states, if the unbelieving depart, let them depart. A person is not bound in such cases, but God has called us to peace. Right, the negativity. Right. So if this person while we talking about, we got to think about the rules now. First of all, relationship is a whole different thing versus marriage. Marriage is what God honors. Relationship, he don't really, if you moving towards that, then yes. But I mean, what he really honors is marriage. So, if you have this negativity, just because you can love covers a multitude of sins, and there is a possibility as to what you can do. Me, myself, personally, from a personal standpoint, if a man is putting his hands on you consistently and consistently doing that, he consistently whooping you behind, I wouldn't advise anybody to stay into that. I wouldn't advise you to be anybody's punching bag. If you're in a relationship where it has to get physical, that's toxic. That's a toxic relationship. There's no and it's only going to get worse if it's not nipped in the bud. So
whether it's physical abuse
Mm-hmm.
or emotional abuse.
Right.
It's
Words.
it's
Sometimes
toxic.
Sometimes words hurt worse than a fist.
A lot of
Sometimes
times
they do.
words do. Yeah.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes you. I wish you put your hands on me because the way you talk to me is just crazy. You know, I've had situations where I mean, like we had a situation last week where I had to calm my nerves because she was upset by the way I spoke to her. It wasn't what I was saying, it was how I was saying it. And I was trying to get my point across, but sometimes when you get emotional, you say it the wrong way. So I had to go back and fix that. I had to fix our relationship. Because at the end of the day, how important is it to you?
Mm-hmm.
How important is it? How much do you want to see this prosper? How important is this for you to come forward? How important is it for you to fix this? Do you love this person enough to fix it? And not only that, fixing comes from within. So that person has to have the drive to want to change. One thing about free will, it is just that. It's free will. You can't make anyone change. I hate to see women say, I can change him, or I can make him into this, or I can make him into that. You can't change a man unless he decides he wanted to change. Period. You can't stop. I do this for him. I do that for him. I cook. I clean. I do what I'm supposed to do when I'm ready. And, I let him have my body whenever he wants to. But at the end, it's still just not enough. That's because you are not the problem. It's within him. A person sins when they're drawn away by their own lust, not nothing that you did. You can be perfect. You can be flawless. You can literally step through the door, pure gold, and he still will cheat if that's what's in his heart.
That's deep. That's deep. Hallelujah. So, to add to that, like I said, in the relationships, it's all about what you want out of it. If you want peace, tranquility, love,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to be able to be with that person and have a great understanding, it's all about how you approach one another, how you talk to one another, how you treat one another. Because just like Miss Crystal said, should you continue to subject yourself to that? No, nobody deserves that. In the Bible, it says to love one another. If you are constantly just bad mouthing this person, stressing this person, arguing with this person over the littlest things, that's not showing love.
Mm-hmm.
That, I'm sorry, I don't know about y'all, but I don't do that. Ain't love to me. Right. No, sorry. I want love where, and no, don't get me wrong, we are not perfect. We are not perfect. We have our little argument. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Thank you. We good. We are not perfect. No. We have arguments, we have disagreements. But the best thing about our arguments and our disagreements is, like you said, before we lay our heads to bed at night, we fix the issues. Mm-hmm. We can fix the issues because the fact that we go back and we think about what transpired to get us to this point, and then we talk about it. Mm-hmm. Yes, we have our moments where, I say what I feel, he says what he feels. Then we come together and think about, okay, where was the disconnect at? Right. Where was the problem? Mm-hmm. Even in the conversation, where's the problem with that?
You invited, Lizzie.
Well, Lizzie, this is every Sunday, so please log in.
I want to scroll back up because I want to go back to what Crystal said. All right, so Crystal says, he is a wonderful man and father and provider, but he has a lot of hurt and frustration from his childhood on up. Now, at the end of the day, a simple way to put love is this. Everybody got issues. Everybody got a problem. Everybody got some type of thing wrong with them. I don't care who you are, you breathing, you got something wrong with you. The question is, because love covers a multitude of sins. So do you love him enough to love that, to be with him regardless of what that is? Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. I can't advise you on what you should do. But I can tell you that it's up to you if you love him that much, because I don't know your level of love. It's up to you. We talked about last week. We had a couple months, like 5 or 6 months back, we had a situation where she wanted to let me go. And I said, no.
I was out of here.
She was gone. She had, and it wasn't anything I did. It was something that was going on in her life. But at the end of the day, I told her, okay, well, your problem is my problem. So we getting through this together. See, the race is not given to the swift, neither the battle to the strong, but it's given to the one that endures until the end. So you got to hang on. Sometimes you got to hang on. You hang on. And I see so many times where people miss their blessing because they stop hanging on. They let go right before they got to their miracle. They let go. Mm-hmm. So you have to decide on, is this worth it? Is it worth it to you? To you? How much do you love this man? Do you love this man enough? I mean, and that's what it all boils down to. That's just it. I can't tell you what to do. You have to look inside of yourself and ask yourself this question. And if he has some issues, another positive, good way, get some counseling. Get some godly counsel, mind you. Get some godly counsel. Let me specify that. Get godly counsel. Make sure that this person who you talking to, if you're going to talk to somebody about staying married, about being married, you want to talk to somebody with some success, somebody with some years in. Somebody going to counsel us about marriage. Guess what? I need about 15, 20 years in. I need that.
Yeah, because you can't learn. That's just like when you're going to school. You can't learn from somebody who never learned what you're trying to learn from them. Or in my case, and I want to tell you, this is my church back in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, Kingdom in the Valley, Pastor Reginald Steele and Kelly Steele. I love them because the fact that they were so transparent and so open. You know, they were an open book when it came to what they went through over their past 20-something years of marriage. And the fact that I was able to follow them, not only were they following Christ, but they went through something. And it's like, you can't tell me how to be successful in my marriage if you ain't been through none of yours.
Come on here.
I'm sorry, what am I supposed to learn from that? How am I supposed to learn to come back from this didn't happen to us, thank the Lord Jesus? How do I learn to come back from infidelity? How do I learn to come back from, the infidelity leading to a child in the marriage? How do I come back from, abuse? If you are with this person and y'all, doing it for life, there's going to be something that comes about. And it's for you to be able to get the best counseling, yes, I agree, godly counsel. Somebody who's been there through the trenches. Give me somebody who's been married 25, 30, 40 years, who done took some stuff, almost knocked the frying pan upside the head type stuff. That's what I need. I need somebody who can tell me, look here, baby, it ain't all that bad. It ain't all that bad. Wipe your tears, dust yourself off, get up, go home, talk to your spouse, and y'all work this out. If you truly love them.
Yeah.
If you are truly loving your person, the significant other that you with, your spouse that you're with, and you see that future coming, work it out. Don't stress each other out. Come on. And be consistent. Excuse me, sweetie.
No, go ahead.
Be consistent about love. Don't be consistent about the stress and the argument and the crying and the drama. Knock the drama out. Come on. And I want to say this to all my ladies. You guys are beautiful. You're beautiful. And you are worth love. Yes, I agree. We are all worth love. But you don't have to demean this man. I'm not saying because you can't demean this one. This is me right here. Thank you. You don't have to put him in a bad headspace. You don't have to stress him out. Right. You don't have to cause an argument to get attention. Let him know, baby, I missed you today, and I need your attention.
Oh, shucks.
It's not hard, especially if you have that type of relationship where you can talk to one another. Now, on the other hand, if you can't talk to one another, then you'll never have that type of relationship. You need to understand that communication is number one in any relationship.
You will lose it. It will not last if it doesn't, first of all, doesn't have God all up in the place. Second of all, if you do not have correct communication. We talk about everything. You have to be able to communicate.
Okay, I gotta go with this. Makita, you said the state factor in relationships is gone. That's true. I have seen that. I've seen people say, you know what, I'm gonna just hang around for about good 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 months, and then I'm deucing it. Why you think that? I know, I know my reason. I know, why I would say that, but why? Pride and ego has completely taken over, and it's like that's true. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
People's pride is, and then it's like not only that. I'm gonna add to that as well. It's too many fish in the sea.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much out there I can be go looking at, or it's too many other possibilities that I can get with. But the fact is, if you're constantly looking for somebody, if you get in a relationship with somebody, you constantly saying, "Yeah, this is gonna last for a minute, maybe, I don't know," then you don't really want a relationship. You don't want the kind of relationship you want involves a bed and a condom. I'm just saying, because I mean, if you don't see a future with this person, why waste your time? And especially, why waste their time? Because they are probably looking for longevity. You never know that. But the fact that people play with each other's emotions, that draws a line on a lot of stuff. The relationship factor is gone because the Vakita fish been there. Okay, I hear you. Because the faithfulness is not there, and the longevity is not there.
Also, there needs to be a two-way street, not a one-way.
Mm-hmm.
This is a couple. This is a relationship. She can't fight by herself, and neither can I. We got to fight together. You shouldn't have to fight this person for them. I'm not going to fight you for you. What am I going to fight you for you for?
That's right.
We got to learn to fight together. We got to remember, when you in a relationship, or even especially when you in a marriage, you need to learn that it's y'all two against everything else. Because the enemy, his job is to separate you. Let me see. Singleness should be celebrated, and in that season,
to work on yourself and allow God to prepare you for your spouse and your spouse for you. I like that,
That's
Andrea.
It.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that, because I was going to touch up on that as well. I've been hearing a lot of women say, I'm single, I'm solo dolo. It's just me. I don't want no man. But it's not the fact of what you don't want. It's the fact of what you won't tolerate anymore. Mm-hmm. So, in a lot of people, and especially a lot of women, you run into the same type of men. And it's like, maybe it's not who you run into, but it's the circle you're already in. Maybe that's what it is. And yes, in your singleness, you should be learning to love yourself, because the more you love you, you will attract somebody who can love you just as good.
Right.
So yeah, working on yourself, and of course, looking for God and allowing God to prepare you for your spouse, the one that you have been dreaming of and praying about. So I'm just gonna open up a little bit, about our relationship. We started out as friends. We met on plentyoffish.com. So serious. At one point, we were done with relationships. We was like, you know what? Been there, done it. I'm so done. I'm so done. So, as we were, talking to one another, we never met in person. But for a whole 9 months, we had a great friendship. Our friendship grew over the years. We would talk to each other on the phone. We would speak to each other through, social media, text messages. And with those conversations was a lot of, praying for one another, praying for our families and our children, and just general, let me get to know who you are. So again, 9 months, and we became the best of friends and never met in person.
See, what winds up happening is that some of us need to chastise ourselves. We need to isolate ourselves, because because our flesh get bothered, we let our guard down and give in to stuff. And then we find ourselves in a situation because we thought with the wrong, like for men, we thought with the wrong head. Just being honest.
I like that honesty.
Yeah, you thought with because I've done it too many times before. You thought with the wrong head. You used the head that's the head that's down here versus the head that's up here, and you don't think properly. You know what I'm saying? And most people and men probably won't even attend to this, but when you have relations and stuff like that, you connect soul ties. And what that can do is cloud your judgment. So it's important to make sure that you are seeking God properly when you dealing with somebody. When you seeking God properly, period. You need to be doing that anyway. But you want to make sure that, oh yes, absolutely, Andrea. Courtship is key. It is so key. You got to take time. You need to take time and know the person. Take time to get to know the person. Because whenever you meet somebody brand new, you meeting a representative. You're not meeting them.
True.
You meeting a representative of them. You know, some people, now there are a few people out there that's gonna give it to you straight just how they are. This is me, this is who I am.
And this is me. Take it or leave it.
Right.
Because I don't have time.
Right.
And that's one thing that we developed. We didn't send our representative. We came as, you take it or leave it.
This is me.
This is what it is. We ain't even get a relationship anyway. We're just friends. So take this friendship or leave this friendship. But the great thing about our friendship was that, you know, we were not looking for somebody to be in a relationship at the time. We just wanted somebody to just talk to, you know, and, you know, every once in a while. Right. But anyway, as we were getting to know each other better, you know, we started to realize that we had a lot of similarities. And you know, we was more so of, okay, look, I done been through this, and a third. I'm not going to go through that again with you. So we can continue to be friends, and then maybe something can come about. You know, that's how it was presented to the both of us. You know, we presented to each other. So it's like, the more we understood what we wanted and what we would not take, that's what made the friendship grow bigger. And it got a lot better, as you can see. Matter of fact, our 1 year is tomorrow.
It is, isn't it?
It is. Wow. And not 1 year knowing each other. Our 1 year is tomorrow. People tend to be on their best behaviors in the beginning. That's why friendship is important. That's right, Absolutely. Lizzie. Like I told you, you know, our friendship grew over the course of that 9 months that we were just talking, laughing. You know, he had a bad day. Hey, you know, Willa, are you available? Can we talk? You know, heck yeah. I'll be in the salon doing hair. As soon as I'm done with a client, I'll call you. Or if I'm at home or whatever, I'll call you. So I would call him, you know, he'd tell me how everything went. And then I would pray with him. Pray for him and pray with him. That's the thing. It was not just one prayer, all right, I'll holler at you later. No, I would pray for him. And then I would pray with him.
Thank you, Drea.
Thank you, Andrea. So the basis of what we're trying to say is, if this is something that you want to be consistent about how you want to grow this relationship. Do you really want a relationship that has meaning, or do you want a relationship that's stressful? Because if that's what you want, then let the person know. And then there's another thing too. Do not take away somebody's choice. That's a big issue. What some people fail to realize is, when you send your representative, that's not the real you. And that's fine, because, you know, you got to be careful with some people. You got to make sure that you can open up and be like, yeah, I don't know if I want to deal with that or not. So you got to send that representative. But then once the representative has done their job and you figured out what it is, be upfront. If all you want is to hit it and quit it, be upfront with that person. Don't play games, because guess what? They might want to just hit it and quit it too every once in a while. You don't know. So don't take away somebody's choice. But then remember, that's right, Makita. She said, my choice is mine to make, not for you to take. Amen. I like that. And that is what it is. When you take away somebody's choice, you lose their respect. Especially for somebody who actually was into you. You never know. You know, I'm going to go back and I'm going to open up a little bit. I was in a relationship with somebody, and I was so busy with my own life, with my kids, school, and work, that I really didn't pay a lot of attention to him. I saw him every once in a while during the week, maybe every other weekend, but I was so focused on school and my family that I didn't really dig deep into him until my semester and my classes had ended and I took a break. When I took a break and I actually sat down with this man, and I realized something ain't right. Because now I'm free your eyes are open. So for 2 years, I dealt with that man. Kind of find out he was married. Now what? Please tell me I was clutch. What? You married? And now, mind you, he didn't tell me. I am Inspector Gadget. I finds out. Hello, I am a black woman. I am an investigator.
Yeah, the best detectives okay? On the planet.
The best, baby, the best. But like I said, when my mind was not focused on him, and it was like, okay, yeah, we'll get together maybe this weekend. I got an exam. My kids got this. I'll let you know. So we saw each other once in a while, but it was like when I had that time available. When I became available, that's when my eyes really opened. And the fact that you let those 2 years go by, you took away my choice. Now, I'm not saying I'm gonna deal with a married man. That's not my forte. That's not what I want to do. Because I know karma is a bad chick. But at the same time, if you would have said to me in the beginning, you don't know what I would have said. Because back in my bad girl days, I'm like, oh, she ain't my friend. But I don't think like that no more. Thank you, Jesus. I'm healed. But it's like, when you take away somebody's choice, now the fact that they don't trust you, they don't believe a word you say, and no matter what you do, they eyeballing you. You on their radar.
Another thing, it's funny you brought up trust, because I want to say something about that. Now, first of all, you have to choose to trust a person. You have to make that decision. You have to make that choice. What happens a lot of times, first of all, you got to be ready for love. See, a lot of times people, they get out of a relationship, might have been toxic, might have got hurt by it, and then they jump right into another one. You haven't given yourself a chance to heal. So what do? You bring that old baggage into this new relationship. And then all of a sudden you think and you see something that you might not be seeing. Secondly, trust is golden. You have to choose to trust somebody. You know what I'm saying? And for the most of the part, you say, okay, I'm gonna trust you until you give me a reason not to. Even saying that is not necessarily a good idea. I'm gonna choose to trust you. Like, you'll have time. I've never been the type to have time to go through nobody's phone and go look for stuff, because one thing I've learned a long time ago, you go looking, you're gonna find what you're looking for. Yeah. You will find it. No matter what it is, you're gonna find exactly what you're looking for, because that's what you are. And one thing I've learned is that if we don't have trust, we don't have anything. We're not going anywhere. It's not gonna happen, because every time your back is turned, or every time I leave your presence, you think I'm doing something. You think I got something, and I'm just not gonna live that way for myself. I'm not gonna subject nobody else to that. So I've never been that type of person. I mean, even if the signs are right in front of me, look, I'm not finna do that. I'm not finna, because I'm very confident in my relationship with God to know that whatever's done in darkness is going to come to light.
Yep.
You can sit around and try to hide it for as long as you think you can, but it will come to light. It will come to the forefront, and you will have to deal with it. So trust is important. It is detrimental. It is kind of the life-giving oil of a relationship. You have to be able to trust them. I definitely don't want to be in a relationship with somebody I cannot trust.
Yep.
It's just what it is. And nobody, who else wants to do that? I know I don't. Why would you? A gasless brand new car, beautiful to look at, but ain't going nowhere. Exactly, Makita. That's exactly right. You got a pretty nice diamond. I've seen people hook their car up, but the engine bad. Why are you putting all these sounds and everything on the car that don't run? So it look nice. It's got all the sounds in it and everything, but guess what? It don't lead the driveway. Who gonna see it? Who gonna notice it? What was the purpose of you doing all that? You did all of that and should have taken care of what was necessary in the vehicle.
Right. Lizzie said, what if you failed your significant other and they never failed, but they choose to trust you again? What would be your best advice? Can I?
Go ahead.
Okay. If you have failed your significant other with the trust issue, it all depends on what your significant other wants. and what they will and will not accept. See, that's the thing in the relationships. Again, I go back to what I said earlier. Communication. Communication is so key in a relationship. If you failed to keep their trust, you did something to misplace their trust, then guess what? That is something you have to deal with, because you have to deal with your consequences. All actions have consequences. So the fact that you have lost their trust, you and your significant other have to make that arrangement to either stay together or talk about how to get well, because it's kind of hard to get trust back once you lose it. It's hard, but that's communication that has to come with the two of you. You know, if you did something that they deem they shouldn't say they don't forgive you, but that they can't move forward with, then that's the consequence you have to deal with.
Also, to add to that, if you betrayed your significant other's trust and they choose to be with you, you need to make sure that you keep your nose clean.
Yeah, because obviously even though they give you another chance.
Because even though they've decided to trust you again, in the back of their mind is what you did. So anytime you make a similar move to what you were doing when you had that happen, you're gonna have to deal with that.
Yep. You're gonna have to deal with how they respond to you as well. So say, okay, I'll use this as an example, because we're in a relationship. If I had an issue with trust in him texting a female before, and then he says, okay, babe, I apologize. I didn't mean to hurt you in any way. Let me just not have this conversation, period, with this person. But I'm sitting right next to his phone and it goes off and this woman's name pops up and they're still having conversations. That's blowing the trust all over again. It's like, if you already told me that you weren't talking to this young lady and then she texts you or even calls you, what's the point of you saying, you apologize and it won't happen again? Because guess what? You can block somebody from your phone. You know what I'm saying? And I understand we can't control other people's actions, and that's fine, that's dandy. But you make sure, or your significant other make sure, they do everything in their power not to bring that suspicion on them or on you, because that's where the problem lies.
Also, a good thing is, and like I said before earlier, make sure you're ready to love. Because if you have some type of hang up, like if something happened to you in the past, you have a hang up about it, you'll bring it to the next person.
Yeah.
You might think just because they own a phone like that they're doing exactly what somebody in the past did to you. You can't do that to that person. It's not their fault. It's not.
That's right.
It really isn't. So it's important to make sure you're ready to love. You have to be ready to love. You have to be healed.
And then for the person that I'm going to touch on what Makita said, she said the best apology is change behavior. Okay, so for the person that betrayed the trust, if you feel that what you do is affecting your relationship and you want to stay in this relationship, you see this relationship continually moving forward, then you have to think about the us factor. Does this affect us? Not just her or him. Does it affect us as a couple? So if you are sitting here doing all the things that affected you in the first place to lose the trust, then you haven't changed your behavior. You haven't done anything to fix it. So that's intention that you don't want to fix it. You want to keep doing what you want to do, regardless of how that other person feels. Right. So if you feel so heavy on this person and you are with this person, you want to be with this person, you want this relationship to grow into something bigger and better, then it all depends on your behavior with that person.
And to understand, when you're in a relationship with a significant other, you need to know that in order for it to work, you need to first be selfless, not selfish.
Yep.
Selfless, not selfish. Thinking of their needs and wants. Putting them before yourself. Not putting yourself before them. Because people that are selfish wind up being by themselves and staying that way because you're too busy worried about what you got going on. Your problem is the only problem. Your issue is the only issue. You need to learn to be selfless and to learn to give.
Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of issues in society today. A lot of people are selfish. It's all about that. I'm gonna get mine regardless.
I was like that for a long
I mean,
time.
yeah, I was too.
Yeah.
And it's like that's where a lot of the relationships go downhill. I'm gonna get mine regardless is not a good stance to take if
No.
you're not trying to be alone.
Mm.
So, um, well, this has been a great conversation.
It has been, really has been. We enjoyed all the questions in the comments.
We did. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Do we have any other questions or comments that you want to make that we want to touch on while we're still live? You guys, I want to thank you for joining in. Oh yeah, let's talk about that. We have so many more topics to touch on that is like we are really thinking about taking this more than one day a week. So serious. Because we have it'd be so funny because I was just telling him yesterday, I said we should start recording our car conversations. He's like, yeah, we should, because we have really, really deep conversations. That's why we started this, because the fact that we are in the budding sources of our relationship, and we've been through a lot of drama in our lives in our past. So we felt that this was a ministry, and this is our ministry to talk and get everybody open up, and let's talk about things that people similarly talk about, but they open up and then shut down. So thanks for the advice. Y'all have a good night. See you next week. All right, thank you, Lizzie. We appreciate it. So yeah,
we weren't off the air yet, but okay.
We're definitely thinking about taking this more than one day a week, because like I said, we have so many more topics we'd like to touch on, and it's everyday stuff that it's just everyday things that we see, we hear. And especially now that social media is popping so much, we see a lot of memes being made, and it'd be funny to me. I'm like, wait a minute, we was just talking about this,
right? So
that's why we brought up this one today: stress and inconsistency. So my advice would be, women, if you want the man in your life to be consistent with how he loves you, how he takes care of you, remember that you have to be the same way with him. We are not supposed to stress each other out. We're supposed to be us against the world. That's how we're supposed to be in a relationship. And if you feel that you have to argue, you have to have drama, keep in mind, he might not want that.
If you really plan on having a successful relationship, understand there should be no strings attached. For instance, my example is, I'll be the man that I'm supposed to be as long as you be the woman you're supposed to. No, that's not how it is. You want to go into the relationship being that person because that's who you are. Because that's who you want to be.
Don't put the facade.
Don't put the facade up. What's up, Big Beats? What's happening, baby? It's good. Don't allow things to, because some people will say, well, if you didn't do this, then I wouldn't do that. I've heard so many people. I had to go through that myself, where somebody said, the reason why I did this is because you didn't do this. And I was like, no, that ain't it. You had this in you the whole time. Just keep it real. Be honest. Be honest. Oh my God, be honest. Because I had gone through situations where I was not being honest with people. I really wasn't. And I can confess about that because now I'm delivered. And so I come honest with her. Like, we have conversations. We talk about things that go awry. Things like if she does something throughout the day, I'll be like, well, let's talk about this. Baby, when you did this, it kind of irritated me. I really didn't like it. It was like, oh, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody's a mind reader. Nobody knows exactly what's going on in your mind unless you tell them. So, it's again, the communication factor, the willingness to see this through to the end. You got to want that. Don't stop making temporary people fill a permanent position.
Oh, that's big. That's big.
Right.
I've always been hearing, people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a purpose. You need to differentiate which one these people come into your life for.
Right.
We all have that sense. They always say women have that women's intuition. True. Because we know for a fact he ain't right. But it's just something about him that we got to keep around. That's fine. But just remember, like I said earlier, all of your actions have consequences. All of them do. So just be mindful of all that. You want to make sure that the person that you are getting involved with, that they're in the area of what it is that they're in your life for. Mm-hmm. Because we can learn a lot from people that we're in a relationship with.
And also, make sure that y'all go in the same direction.
You traveling the same path.
This is how is this going to build?
Yeah. You don't want to be with somebody who just want to be in a relationship. They don't want to be married. If you want to be married. Mm-hmm. So why get involved with a person? Now, this is men and women. Why get involved with that person if they don't see marriage in their future? Don't go for they might change their mind. No. If they tell you off top, I don't want to be married. Oh, and I don't want kids. But you want kids and you want marriage. That's unequally yoked. That is not going to work. No matter how much you beg, plead, and everything. You cannot force someone into a relationship that they do not want.
Point blank, period.
That's all it is.
It might go for a certain time, but after a while, they're gonna get tired of it. A person has to want this. You have to want it, and you have to be willing to work on it. Yep. Because in order to stay together, it's a 25-hour a day, 8-day-a-week job.
Yep.
Throw that extra day in there and that extra hour. Absolutely. Because, she goes to work. I go to work. We go to two different directions. She has guys. She has guys that she's downtown Chicago. She has guys that hit on her. I'm at a call center in Maryville. I have people come at me, and I'm like, you're not worth it. Not even a little bit. You're not. So.
And some people say, they need the attention. Well, that's why you have your significant other. You don't need to. What is it? I would say, seek and see if you still got it. If you already got them.
The grass is green on the other side. Your grass is green too if you water it.
If you water it and landscape it like it's supposed to be, your grass could be so fly.
Right. Then you jump over that wall and find out it was crabgrass and it wasn't nothing but sod. It wasn't even real grass.
It ain't even real, Sean.
It ain't even real grass. They bought it in on the truck. Nope.
That is turf.
Straight turf. You playing on a football field. That's what you do.
Just keep those things in mind, people. We appreciate you guys for joining in again.
Absolutely.
We will definitely let you know when we were doing it more than one day a week. Mm-hmm. But this weekend, next week, we're gonna be out of town. So we might do it on Saturday, maybe. Yeah. So we're going to be out of town. Of course, we have to network. That's what we do. Mm-hmm. Get my book, please. So I don't know if you guys know. I am Willa J. I am the CEO of Bebo Life Coaching. And I am, self-published author of my book, She Lived Her Life on Purpose. This is my book. It's been doing amazing on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. If you haven't picked this up, pick it up. It's an awesome, awesome book. I actually gave this book to him so he can read it. He said he was just touched by every word. And I had so many young ladies come to me and like, oh my God, I cannot believe it. Your story was just amazing. I loved it, everything about it. So if you have not picked it up, please go ahead and pick it up on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. She lived her life on purpose.
You're welcome, Karen. Absolutely.
Get the book. Karen. Get the book. Go get the book. It's on Amazon. And also coming soon is my new book. Now the cover's going to be changed a little bit, so don't be looking for this cover, but look for that title, Heart of a Woman. I will be posting when this book is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, of course. But Willa J, Heart of a Woman, will be coming to you guys soon. I got to do my finishing touches on it before I put it out there. So just look out for it. But we appreciate you. We thank you. To all the ones that have purchased the book, God bless you. I appreciate you for helping get the word out. Mm-hmm. When I write, believe me, it's all about issues and situations that we as women face daily. And the number one book, She Lived Her Life on Purpose, is getting there. It is getting my purpose out. It is getting my mission out. It's getting my word out to people. So if you have not got that book, please grab it, and I appreciate it. Also, follow me on Instagram at underscore entrepreneurs underscore life, or just look for Willa J. We appreciate you. We thank you. And soon we'll be letting you guys know what days, in plural, that we'll be doing this twice, 2, 3, 4 times a week. Because we thank you guys for being there for us.
Also, we are working on a book together.
We are.
We will give you more details from that as time permits, as the days go by. Be on the lookout for that too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for that. What's up, Tag Along? Timmy Tag Along says Timothy.
Timmy Tag Along?
Timmy
wow.
Tag Along. Timmy Tag Along. He know what I'm talking about. So we appreciate your support.
We do.
Johnny Tubbs Jr., pastor, minister, guy in love, all that good stuff.
You said guy in love. I like how you snuck that in.
You know. So when and any other comments, if you have, please comment, like, share the video. If you view it, comment it, like it, share it. If you have any more questions, anything that you want to ask or you want to talk about, any topics that you want to talk about, please go to our website. My name on Facebook is Johnny Super Tubbs Jr., as in Superman, of course. And then on Instagram is at Superman Hot 1. And you can leave your comments, leave topics, anything. You can go on our page and leave them. Like on her page or my page, you can leave it on the tag me in the timeline. Do something, because we want to help. This is about helping people.
Yep.
This is about making people, more active and about talking, because we don't talk like we should. As a people, we don't talk like we should. We try to push stuff under the rug, or we don't want to seem too weak to talk about certain things. But we need to talk about this stuff. We need to talk to each other.
Yep.
We need to unite to each other, because we too much of black folks hating black folks around here. Yes. Just keeping it real.
Let's keep the love alive.
Absolutely.
Real. So serious. So I don't know if you are following us also on YouTube. This video will be posted to our YouTube channel, which is Oh Yeah, Let's Talk About That. That is our YouTube channel. That is the name of the channel. Somebody asked me, what's the channel name? I said, Oh Yeah, Let's Talk About That. Oh, okay. I still love you. So again, this video will be posted onto our YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Again, follow, like, comment, share. Please like, comment, share on this video. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time. Dance party. Good night, everybody. Good night. No. That's what's hot in the streets.